Neverness to Everness is an upcoming new gacha game that is set in an urban world, and the best way I can describe it is an anime gacha GTA. Now, this video is not sponsored, don't worry, although hey, Hotter Studio, feel free to email me. But this game has been on my radar for a while because the urban city setting is very much similar to that of Zenless Zone Zero. But then you add onto that all of the crazy wild possibilities, such as exploring the city in cars or motorcycles, or flying through the city, or even being able to own a house. Doesn't get much crazier than that. But that concept piqued my interest, and maybe it has yours too. Now don't worry, I'm not dropping Zenless Zone Zero or anything like that, but the reason why I'm bringing Neverness to Everness up is because this weekend there was a special live stream on their official channel, where they showed off some of the developments that they've made from the previous technical tests. And also because they have their beta signups right now for their 2-week-long closed beta, which starts on July 3rd. Now, of course, as this is a closed beta, signing up doesn't necessarily guarantee you access to the server, and even if you do get access, be warned that progress will not carry over into the main game. But if you weren't already interested, or if you've never even heard of Neverness to Everness, I'll go over some of the key highlights from the special livestream that can help you learn more about the game. First, as if it wasn't obvious enough already, the game features anime characters and environments, which have all gotten some visual improvements since the previous technical tests. All of this thanks to the Unreal Engine. And although they are definitely outnumbered, yes, there are husbandos in the game too for those of you that are curious. Next is the GTA aspect of the game. This beta test will have a bigger map in comparison to the older tests, and what better way to explore the city than in cars or bikes that you can drive. And if you don't have one of your own, you can borrow one from a civilian. But if they aren't as cooperative, you can still force your way into getting one vehicle, but you can get a wanted level, which means that the police will start chasing you, and of course, you can obey the rules of the road, or you can drive all willy-nilly, smashing through things and then also increasing your wanted level further. But after all of that exploration, what better place to relax than in the comfort of your own home? So now you probably are understanding why I called this the anime GTA. You can of course drive in third person or first person, and although in some of the trailers there are shots of drifting, I'm not entirely sure how good the drifting is in-game. We wouldn't really see much gameplay of that specifically. But exploration isn't the only thing in the game though. However, to me it is probably the most appealing thing. But there is also combat where each character will have their own fleshed out kits. But in my opinion, the combat seems sort of, similar to other games that we've seen before. I think the thing that's really setting aside Neverness to Everness is the exploration, whether you're in a car or a bike or just running around naturally and flying around hovering through the sky, specifically through the urban cityscape. But also in this beta, for those of you lore chads out there that want to know more about the world and its characters, there will be 2 main story chapters for 2 differing factions that are also going to be available in the beta. But now, most importantly, at the end of the day, this is still a gacha game, meaning that all those cool characters that you see, you'll have to pull for. But that's where Neverness to Everness flips things on its head. The gacha system is called the Scarborough Fair, and it's essentially a giant Monopoly board, where each pull is a roll of the dice, meaning you can somewhat plan out your pulls because you can see what's ahead of you on the board. Now at a base level, your chance for an S rank on this board is 1.88%. But here's the big thing. There is no 50-50. I repeat, you cannot lose the 50-50 because that does not exist. You will always get the featured S rank agent on the featured banner. Specifically, after 70 pulls of not getting an S rank, the odds of you landing on one will go up, since more of the nodes on the board will be replaced with that S rank drop. Aside from these main points, there were also some minor improvements that will be made in the beta, but these only really have an impact if you have experience with the previous technical test. Now, one big thing going into this is, funnily enough, one of the things that they ask in the survey when you apply for the beta, but the studio behind Neverness to Everness is also the studio that was behind Tower of Fantasy. Now, depending on how much you've been following gacha games, that may or may not be setting off alarm bells. Personally, I would like to think that despite any past experiences, it might still be worth giving it a try. After all, that is the whole point of a beta test, is it not? To try it out and see whether or not you like it or not, or improvements to be made to the actual game before its official release. Speaking of official release though, the one other thing that you might be concerned about, or that you might be confused about, is looking at all this gameplay, you might think, wait a minute, is this not the other game that I've been seeing, Ananta? And yes, Neverness to Everness and Ananta are sort of filling very similar niches. Both are urban open world RPG anime gacha games essentially. A lot of buzzwords. Sound like Jeff Keighley at E3. Or rather no, Summer Games Fest. But apparently that's the new thing these days. And a concern that you might have, and honestly a concern that I have as well, is that Ananta and Neverness to Everness will definitely have some competition, let's say it like that. Now, don't get me wrong, friendly competition is always great. It means that both games should try their best to offer the best thing possible. The one thing that you should be concerned about is if one of these two games decides to try to like cheat the system in a sense of just putting something out sooner and trying to be the first one to hit the market, which might mean very sloppy updates or very rapid, unrefined adjustments or something like that. But again, we are just making assumptions here. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes on the Ananta or the Neverness to Everness dev teams. But once again, I guess that is the point of a beta test, is it not? To hopefully get some hands-on experience, try it out yourself, and then see whether or not you like it. And if you don't like it again, provide some feedback that will hopefully make the game a bit better in the future. Otherwise, once again, signups are available right now for the closed beta that starts on July 3rd. If you found this video helpful, please do let me know by liking and subscribing, and especially do leave a comment letting me know what you think of the game and whether or not you would like me to cover more information about Neverness to Everness in the future. Otherwise, until next time, bye bye.